What if the world didn't change because of one big hero, but because each of us decided to fight for one small thing that broke our heart and dared to do something about it? I have spent my career turning compassion into action, and this is what I've learned. Real change doesn't start in billion-dollar foundations or fancy boardrooms. It starts in the quiet places, kitchens, locker rooms, classrooms, churches, where ordinary people finally say, enough is enough. I'm gonna fix this. I've seen athletes create resource rooms in high schools because they couldn't stand to see kids go without. I've seen families sit with financial advisors, not only to talk about wealth, but to talk about values and the world they wanted to shape. I've seen business owners create amazing give back programs because they know the health of their community is tied to the health of their business. But all of this started the same way, with a feeling. Someone should fix this. But too often, we tell ourselves our gift is too small, our time is too limited, or we don't have enough influence. So we wait. We wait for the perfect moment, more time, or more money. But I want to challenge the way you think on this. What difference can I make? In finance, there's a powerful principle called compounding interest. It's not dramatic, it's not flashy, it doesn't make the headlines, but it's one of the most powerful tools. Small amounts invested consistently grow exponentially over time. Has anybody read Atomic Habits? If we just commit to getting 1% better every single day, by the end of the year, we'll be 37 times better than when we started. Tiny actions don't stay tiny, they multiply. But here's what most people miss. That also applies to generosity, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say you take a walk every day and you're on your same walking path. And you start to notice the trash piling up and it frustrates you. So you commit the next day to grabbing a bag and a glove, and you pick up just 10 pieces of trash. Go home, throw out the trash, then you decide to post it on your community board. And you inspire 25 other people to do the same thing. And you guys collectively do it for 25 walks. You guys would have picked up over 6,000 pieces of trash. Not because you sat in like 18 committee meetings, right? or like applied for a grant or started this massive initiative. Because one person acted and kept going. So now let's talk about something else that seems small. Has anybody in here done a 5K to support their community nonprofit? Can I see your hands? Love all my do-gooders. So you sign up, you wake up early that Saturday morning, you walk or run a few miles, you get your honorary t-shirt and your banana, right? And you go sit in your car and you think, what difference did I make? But what you don't see is that your registration fee becomes unrestricted funding that nonprofit can use immediately. Your presence tells that nonprofit what they do matters. And if you provide your selfie, right, with your friends on your walk and you post it on social media, you're now providing visibility for that organization. You can give that organization the ability to tell a story, right? And that story turns into data, and that data turns into leverage to help that nonprofit to apply for more grants, attract bigger sponsors, and get new donors. And when you do it again and again and make it a tradition, that's compounding. All right, so let's move on to everyone's favorite subject, donating. So let's say you donate $50 a month to a cause that you care about. That's $600 in a year. For many nonprofits, that could be supplies, such as dog food, blankets. But now let's say you rallied and you brought 10 friends along with you. That's $500 a month $6,000 a year. For many nonprofits, that could be a funded program. And when nonprofits can count on funding, they can plan, hire, expand, serve, and solve. We're gonna end my examples with probably one of the reasons I've stayed in the nonprofit industry for as long as I have. I had a client when I started who decided to donate $5,000 a month into a donor advised fund. Not for the tax deduction, not because he got to name it after himself, but because he had a vision. His vision was when he was gone, he wanted his grandkids to be able to give away the money. So here's the plan. The funds would remain invested, the principal would stay intact, and every year on each grandchild's birthday, they would be able to distribute the funds to their favorite organization. He did it for 25 years. The account grew to over $240,000. But can you imagine that? A birthday centered not around what we get, but what we give? He taught his grandkids how to say, what matters most, who needs my help, and how can I use this gift that was given to me to help somebody else? And that's compounding at its highest level, not the money, but the perspective, the empathy, the way of seeing the world. So I'd like to end with an experiment. Everybody has a black folder sitting under their chair. I'd like you guys to grab it. So each color represents a field of interest. We have red for education, orange for social justice, yellow for food insecurity, green for children and youth, blue for veterans, purple for environment, white for health and wellness, pink for arts and culture, thank my daughter for the pink, and gray for other. All right, I need everyone to close their eyes for a second. Imagine the last time when you thought, God, someone should fix this. When your heart just started to race or your chest felt tight. People suffering, children being overlooked, trees dying. Something that really just got you. All right, open your eyes. Now I need you to pick the color that represents the cause that you just thought about. When you do, hold it up. Wow. Guys, look around. This is what possibility looks like. Different colors, different callings, but one willingness to care. You can put your signs down, thank you. In the next 30 days, I want you to commit to just one small thing. Volunteer, donate, text a friend, start a conversation. I don't need you to fix the entire problem. I just need you to honor your part in it. So let's fast forward. Let's assume what you just committed to silently in your head is already happening. You made your donation automatic. You volunteered on that Thursday afternoon. You showed up to 2 committee meetings, right? Now imagine the person on the other end of that. A teacher that doesn't have to buy supplies out of their own pocket to educate a class. A mom that doesn't have to pick between groceries and rent. A community that becomes the answers to its own prayers rather than waiting for a miracle. A veteran that finally has access to the services that he needs after protecting our country. Because when you act, something shifts inside you too. You stop feeling helpless, you stop waiting for permission, and you stop assuming somebody else is going to handle it. And that shift's important. Because when you act over and over again, it becomes part of who you are. And when generosity becomes part of your identity, it doesn't require willpower. You don't debate whether you're enough. You don't question whether you should show up. You act because it's who you are. The world doesn't need more heroes. It needs more people willing to listen to that spark that was put inside them and do something about it. So keep holding your color. Let it remind you of your calling. And when you leave this room, do one small thing. Because when ordinary people choose to act, the world changes for all of us. Thank you.